What's up, guys? This is Jordan Anderson, and you're watching The Fix.
Welcome to The Fix. On Sunday at Auto Club Speedway, Alex Bowman showed the field who the real California king was by dominating the race and capturing his first victory of the 2020 season. Order your race win diecast in number 88 Cincinnati Incorporated Chevy at LionelRacing.com or through our call center at 1-800-952-0708 or through your authorized dealer. Now let's check out our great new releases. Kyle Busch's number 18 M&M's The Clash Toyota. Kyle Busch's number 18 Snickers White Toyota. Christopher Bell's number 95 Green Toyota. Noah Gregson's number 9 Nationwide Children's Hospital Chevrolet. Tyler Reddick's number 8 Caterpillar Mine Expo Chevrolet. John Hunter Nemechek's number 38 Mystic Ford. Eric Jones' number 20 Irwin Speedboard Toyota. Kyle Larson's number 42 McDonald Chevrolet. Brian Blaney's number 12 Body Armor Tribute Ford, honoring the memory of basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. Proceeds from the sale of this diecast will be donated to the Mamba On 3 Fund. And William Byron's number 24 Exalted Tribute Chevrolet, which also ran in memory of the Bryants at Auto Club Speedway. Proceeds from the sale of this diecast will benefit After School All-Stars. Get all these great new releases at LionelRacing.com or through our call center at 1-800-952-0708 or through your authorized dealer.
What's up, guys? Jordan Anderson here, driver number 3, KSeal.com, Chevrolet Silverado. So excited to come to you guys today with my Daytona truck right here behind me. Thank you to Lionel for offering it. It's amazing. My first ever diecast. I've dreamed about this for so many years, and I know you guys have been killing Twitter talking about how much you want a diecast. Well, the day's finally here. We've got the pre-orders out there. You guys have been making sure Lionel knows how excited you guys are about it. So it's coming soon. Donuts. It's got all the rubber and everything on it. There's still like a big old scratch from where some scrap metal hit us during the race. Super thankful for Lionel for offering the race version of the diecast. It's pretty amazing. The 24 hours after Daytona, it almost didn't even feel like it was real life. It definitely felt like a dream, as everybody talks about. But for us, the second place at Daytona wasn't just the extra purse money. It wasn't just the extra exposure for our sponsors. It was so big for our team and everybody that supported us on this journey. I mean, when we started this thing back in 2018 and said, you know what, we're gonna create Jordan Anderson Racing, we're gonna start this team, we're gonna make this thing happen. We had a dually, a 40-foot trailer, and 1 race truck, and we decided to go racing. And you know, here we are 2.5 years later to be competing against a team like ThorSport on the stage of a place like Daytona with so much history. And for a kid that was from South Carolina that just dreamed of being a race car driver one day, to see this thing go from a dream to reality and see it grow and all the emotions that come with Daytona. Daytona is without a doubt our biggest race of the year and our biggest platform for fans to watch it, and to be able to deliver a finish like that and to really see our strategy play out. Wally Rogers, my crew chief, and I, we talked about we needed to hang out all race. We needed to stay out of trouble. We needed to just kind of stick to our own lane and do our own deal the entire race, and to see our strategy work out almost to a T of how we planned it. I still remember going on the backstretch, so I'm sitting there in second place, and I'm like, do I just stay in second and just take this as a good day, or do I go for it? And then something happened, and when I got the Grant's back bumper there through 3 and 4, I said, I'm gonna go for it. And it's one of those things that you can't really ever practice being in that situation. You know, you've watched races growing up, you've been on iRace and done all this stuff. I think I made a reference to NASCAR Thunder 2003. There was some like challenge they had in there where you were in second place in the last lap and you had to win the race, and I remember that as a kid. But I mean, it was such an emotional roller coaster to just as soon as I crossed the line, I'm like, oh my God, we almost won Daytona. I was so excited about it, but to sink in, I was so bummed that we were that close to winning, but still for us, so big. What a great way to start our year off with. We thankfully, the truck, most and all the damage came from the last 50 feet on the racetrack. You know, looking back at the video, you know, I maybe could have done something different with Grant, maybe not pulled as far away or gotten a little closer to him, but you know, when he hit me right here, you can see the tire mark right behind the left rear tire. It upset the truck so much that I had to put so much wheel input into it to kind of just keep the truck going straight. I think that's what scrubbed off so much momentum. But you could see where his tire mark was. It was behind our left front tire, right? So we were actually ahead of him at the point of contact. So we were leading the race there for a little while. But thankfully, there's not too much damage. You can see there's a couple of tire marks back here. Sorry to Lucas Oil and CRS for scrubbing their decal up, but everybody knows they were there. But this truck will race again at Talladega later this year. Which for us is a huge blessing, because the finish, as I said earlier, is big for us with the purse money and the finish and the exposure we get for our sponsors. But I think one of the things I was most happy about was the truck's in one piece and we can take it to Talladega later this season, which for a small team, we have one super speedway truck. This is really the only one that we have. So the fact that we can put a left side on it, fix the bumper. This actually happened in turn 4 during the race. A couple of guys got together and got sideways and checked up, and there was a guy behind me that kept digging. 2017 at Atlanta, when we had that crash there, that was the only truck I had that we were running that season. And to go from my driving career almost being over, and then we did the Fuel by Fans and everybody that got behind us and supported the journey to be where we are now, is because of everybody that supported us. And I think I look back at the tweets, and even being here talking to you guys about having a die cast made, is like, I was the kid growing up that had the 1/64 die cast thumbtacked to my wall, and I had the lines of 1/24 die cast lined up as a kid, to now have one of our own being produced from the Daytona win, and seeing everybody tweet and saying they're going to pre-order it and get the die cast, and they got it on order. And you know, it was something you always dream about. To see it become a reality now, and to see everybody, it's like, you know, I'm getting this die cast, I'm getting it, is very meaningful to me, because you know, everything that we do, there's so much more fulfillment knowing that people are behind us and supporting us, and know why we do it. You know, we talk about what does it mean to embrace the journey, is going out there and being able to do something that really isn't expected, that you go against all odds. And I think so many people that follow us on our journey can relate to it, because, you know, whether you're working hard to pursue your dreams, you're working hard to keep food on your table or pay your rent, or whatever it is you're going through, life is full of the ups and downs, and embracing the journey means never giving up. And I think life would be boring if it was just a straight plateau. You know, life is the hills and the valleys, and it's I talk about it all the time. 2015 at Daytona, when I missed qualifying for the race, Carl Edwards was one of the first guys that came up to me, and he said, don't get so caught up in the end result that you don't appreciate the journey along the way. And I think I've tried to apply that to everything in my life, and people that follow us and see what we do, you know, from driving our dually cross country and the blown tires and all the crazy bad stuff that happened along the way, to actually being able to create a team and go compete. It's almost like career mode in a video game, you know, that you get better every single year. And I think people have really got behind us, and to be able to see the improvement every year has been pretty special. And for me, on a really personal level, there's no social media guy that's running my accounts, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, because I don't get to catch everything, but I see almost pretty much every tweet, and I'm able to respond to all the emails that go through and all the text messages. And I got some really cool ones after Daytona. Some people that I hadn't talked to in a couple years. You know, we had the Fuel by Fans thing. Everybody that supported us were texting me, our sponsors were texting me. I had one from Mark Martin and Kenny Wallace. That was pretty meaningful. And had Steve Phelps from NASCAR reached out and sent me a message. And to see all the people that follow us that got a kick out of that finish, I mean, that was definitely a finish for the underdogs. I mean, you look through our sport and the history of our sport, and all the underdogs that have come through and competed against the corporate sponsors and the corporate teams, to kind of go up there and say, hey, you know what, this was one for the underdogs, is a finish for every kid that's out there racing late models and legend cars, that dreams of being at that level, that's like, you know what, I don't know if I can keep pursuing this dream, because I don't have the money, I don't have the sponsorship behind me. So that finish was for all those boys and girls and kids that are out there hustling to pursue after their dream, whether they want to be a race car driver or some other sport. You know, the odds are always going to be against you, but sometimes you got to start somewhere, and that was kind of where this team was a couple years ago, and here we are now. So who knows what this year and the next years have in store for us, but it's pretty exciting to think about it, and to have everybody follow us on this journey and be so supportive of what we're doing. It puts a lot of meaning behind it all, and why we do what we do. now that you guys are getting the first ever Jordan Anderson diecast, it's pretty amazing to say that, but just super grateful to Lionel and all the distributors that are going to be selling this truck, and I can't wait to get one in my hands, and looking forward to autographing them for all you guys and to see the final product.
It's time for another exciting edition of Collector Spotlight, so let's dive right in with the first one of this week. It comes from Chance Riley on Twitter. He's showing off his new addition to his growing collection of diecast. He has Chase Elliott's 2019 Watkins Glen Race to Win 124 scale diecast, and he even bought it this weekend at Auto Club Speedway. Really cool that you just got it and you're showing it to us on the fix. Appreciate it, Chance. Next, we have Chad03 on Twitter, and he's showing off his Alex Bowman Chicagoland Speedway Race to Win autographed diecast. It was his first NASCAR race he's ever attended, and he's showing off a great diecast. That's what's so cool about our Race to Win diecast. They are great ways to relive NASCAR memories. And the last one this week comes from NASCAR World Tour on Instagram, and we just thought it was so cool the way he showed off his diecast, reliving the moment of the 2007 Daytona 500 using Lionel diecast between Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin. Thanks for sharing. We need to see more diecasts and collections from you, the collectors. So send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and use #TheFix.